Om. 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 Saira. Just to recollect where we were last week, Swami's list of 20 qualities is the topic which we are studying at this point in time. The Swami is talking about the 20 qualities of a jnani, which are necessary for one to attain moksha. The jnani will have to cultivate it in its completeness. In that sense, the topic which we are discussing is Ekanta Vasam. I think where we left off was, so on one side, Swami has spoken about satsanga, that we have to engage in group sadhana. For example, Sankirtana is much more important than Kirtana. Kirtana is one person singing. Sankirtana means everyone coming together. So Swami has laid a lot of emphasis on group sadhana. At the same time, now this principle of Ekanta Vasam has been introduced. Don't they contradict? If they contradict, which one should we choose? I think that was the question in brief that we are discussing. And also there was this ancillary question, whether Ekantavasam, does it mean only mental solitude? The physical solitude, is it necessary at all? I think that was another topic. But I will, for the time being, I think I will just park that question and we'll come back to that. So we can discuss how do we reconcile Ekantavasam with satsang, group sadhana. Do they contradict each other? And if they, what do we do? Do we choose or something like that? So I will stop here. I think I have defined the problem or the issue which was raised, and I think everyone was asked to think about it and come back. And I think Sai Satish had mentioned that he had something to share, but I had asked him to hold off until today. I think just to warm up, I think we will read the English section just to refresh everyone's memory, and then we will continue. Okay, Saira.
Michael, I'll just read the Ekantavasam paragraph.
Yes, that's good enough.
Whatever the activity or recreation or talk, it must be saturated with the love of God. That is Ananya Bhakti. Thereafter comes Ekantavasam, dwelling in solitude. He must be fond of being alone. This does not mean keeping the body in some solitary place, far from the haunts of men. There must be solitude and silence in the mind. All its occupants must be forced or persuaded to quit. The mind should be nirvishaya, contentless, turned away from the objective world.
Thank you, Kalyani. I think I would just like to make a small mention in the Telugu. For this sentence, this does not mean keeping the body in some solitary place, far from the haunts of men. I think we should introduce one word. This does not mean just keeping the body in some solitary place, far from haunts of men. That means it is not just being alone, away from people, is what I would suggest, because Swami has used the word matramuna in Sanskrit. Just mere or just that is not sufficient. So again, I'll open it up for. So I think Sai Satish may not be able to speak, so I will just leave him alone for now. Others, if anyone would like to share, how do we reconcile? I don't know whether you have had chance to think about it. Based on that, we'll proceed. I think everyone is in a state of ekantavasam. No one is volunteering, so I think I will. Anikantavasam is my tendency, so I will speak. See, the thing is, ekantavasa means residing in a solitary place. Residing, vasa means to reside. See, in life, for example, we all live in our own homes. Just because we live in our homes does not mean we don't go outside the house. Living is one place, but we engage in activities and we come back and rest at home. Oh, that's where we live. So living alone in solitude does not preclude or exclude any interaction whatsoever. If we are living in a society, if you are living in the forest, it may be that also can be a problem, because when you go out, you have to see the birds and beasts, animals, and the trees and whatever, the fruits which from the trees. All that also can be distraction for someone in the forest. And we all aware of the Jadaparda story. So the thing is, Vasa means that should be our resting place where we should rest. So that's the way I understand. Classic example is Puttaparthi Ashram. Swami will tell the residents, they all have to come and gather for bhajan together. They all have to engage in seva together. But he will say, don't have any unnecessary transactions, interactions with other residents of the ashram. So that means we go out, and whatever, to the extent there has to be interaction, there will be interaction. But when we come home, we are in home in solitude. But Swami has also emphasized here that that solitude should be mental also. You have to be in your room. So the thing is, um, when we are at home, when we are back in the room, we should not be thinking about the people who we met, what we thought, what we talked, what we saw in the stores. None of that should affect us. So there we should be in Ekantavasana. That is way all the ashramas were established from time immemorial. They come together because after all, there's interdependence in this world for our existence. But that should not cloud our mind when we are resting. So as much as possible, we should rest in solitude, and we have to interact as needed with the world. So I will stop here. That's where I understand Ekantavasam and Satsanga. Both are equally important. Even if you look at the 9-point code of conduct, Swami will say there's individual sadhana and there is group sadhana. Every individual has to do daily prayer, sadhana, meditation, etc. That is equally important. Externally, when we interact, we should also engage the society in a positive, sattvic way. That is also equally important. I will stop here. Sai Ram, Sister Aruna.
Sairam, brother, my thinking goes like this, So people start with their individual sadhana, then they get into the group sadhana. Whatever the knowledge that they have gained, they will realize that individually only you can connect to the Lord. So at the end, the jnani even come to the state of anyone who go on a spiritual ladder higher and higher, then they will like to be alone, even with the mind and body. That's what I see as an Ekantavasa. Ananya Bhakti only mental wise. Ekantavasa is including mind and body together to you want, and you are enjoying by yourself with a God alone. But in order to get to that stage, the previous stage, I will look at it as a group sadhana because you learn from everyone. And that's how I look at it. Thank you, Saya.
Thank you, sister. I don't know, Sai Satish, if you're unable to speak, then I will speak on your behalf. So I think, see, one of the things I think Sai Satish quotes it often, sadhana is twofold. Atmano mokshartam jagat hitaya cha. So that means any sadhana which we do should be for individual liberation as well as for the welfare of the world. And Swami will say one is right hand, one is left hand. You need to swim with both hands, one right hand, one left hand. And I think many of you may remember the right foot and the left foot discussion. I don't know whether it's here or in some other sadhana. Here only, Auntie? We discuss left foot and right foot.
Yes, here.
This again goes back to left foot and right foot. So when we walk towards the destination, there should be left foot and there's right foot. But Swami says to enter the final destination, you have to put the right foot in and the left foot will follow. I think we discussed it is the same thing. One is right foot, one is left foot. Right foot, I would say, is individual sadhana. The left foot is interaction with the world in a sattvic manner. Both are equally important in our journey. So I will stop here. So this is my understanding. It does not have to be right or wrong. Yes, sister.
Brother, when you take the rishis, yes, they were born in the world and they were with the society. Then they went into the jungle and they are meditating. But whatever the Vedas, whatever they received from the Lord, they shared it with the community, welfare of the world. So, but they were solitary place of being mind and body on a separate. That's one of the things. Thank you, Sai.
Thank you, sister. Thank you very much. Yes, Sairam Kalyani.
Sarah Uncle, is ekanta made of like eka and anta, or?
Yes, eka anta vasa.
So end of oneness, or?
See, in the Upanishads, a disciple is called ante vasinaha. Ante vasinaha is the name of a student. Ante vasina means they live outside the village.
Oh.
Okay. Ante vasin means one who lives outside the hustle and bustle of the city. Okay. Eka ante vasana, even there you have to stay alone. Eka ante vasana means alone, live outside.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So ante vasana manushas, that's the way Sikshavalli will talk. In many of the Upanishads, they will say ante vasin means a disciple who is residing outside the village with his guru. Okay, I will stop here.
And when you say Jagat Hitaya Cha, that doesn't necessarily mean having to go out into the world, even by like how Swami says that the rishis meditating in caves are responsible for keeping the world in a good place.
Yeah, so they dedicate some time for Jagatita. As Sister Aruna has mentioned, they teach, the kings may come for guidance. They may have time allotted for that also. And sometimes the rishis will travel to the city also. They say when Dasharatha was doing the Putra Kameshti Yaga, somebody had to look after the administration of the city. So Vasishta did it. Why did he do it? He didn't want to become a king, but it was required. He was requested and he just performed it as a duty. But he's still a rishi. So, many rishis did that kind of thing. They may go to the city and live with the king and advise if necessary. That kind of work also they have done because that's Raja, rishi or Raja, guru or whatever. So that was also something which rishis did. My answer. Yes, Auntie.
Sometimes in olden days, these supposed to be untouchable, the community who used to live away from the city suburbs. So they were also called Antevasi.
Yes. Anyone who stays outside.
Stays outside. That's it referred to those people also. In those days, people were not allowed to communicate or interact with the society, ordinary society people. They used to stay outside. So they were also, bichare, poor people. They were also called those.
It was a quarantine system.
Quarantine system.
Because if they are working with engaging in work which can potentially spread disease,
Yes.
they were given separate quarters and they don't unnecessarily mix with others.
Because they were doing some very menial jobs.
Yes.
So they were kept outside.
High risk.
High risk.
High risk. Yes, Brother Tasan.
Yes, I am, brother. So, Eganta and solitude. So, the reason important is your mind supposed to be quiet. That mind not supposed to be thinking anything. The mind not supposed to create any sentences and fill up the mind. When you do the meditation, there is no words or sentences. So in order to do that one, we have to be sit in a quiet place, mean we have to be out of the worldly activities. Even though if you do the worldly activity, you are not supposed to attach or think about anything. You do the work with your heart. Then nothing's going to be inside your mind. That mind is, you can make your mind calm. So that's what we say when the people are active, jnani sleep. Thank you, brother.
Sai Ram, brother. Thank you. Sister Ananthi.
Sai Ram, in my mind, I thought that the Vasam, the best example, I thought during the pandemic time, we all maintained Vasam, willingly or unwillingly, we perfectly maintained, the maybe that I also thought if we apply the same thing, um, during the pandemic time, why they have enforced this kind of because we shouldn't get it from the other people, any types of negative things, or maybe we shouldn't give it to other people. So if we maintained in a the in a place, then maybe the individual well-being and the other collectively others well-beings also, both it would be maintained at the same time. Similarly, in spiritual parlance too, if we sometimes we always think if I talk to the other persons, we will share the others' worries, or we will give some sort of advice. Sometimes we will disturb other people, and also Swami has one of the recent discourses. One of the discourses I have read recently, and also Brother Arun also mentioned that sometimes we think that we are giving some sort of comfort to others, and Swami firmly said, if you come to a place, unnecessarily you only pray to the Lord, and you give all your the worries, and your conversation, communication only should be with the Lord, not necessarily with others. You give your worries to other people, and you also get the others' worries to your head. That's why maybe that sort of meaning here, the Andavasam, maybe the unnecessarily you don't go if you can maintain your the Erhanda state, you stay at home and do your work, and also you keep your body and the mind within your your maybe the comfort zone, or maybe not necessarily even the comfort zone, but if something is going to affect your state of being, the communication with the Lord, don't go and maybe the not even go and interact with the other people, or maybe the other things, maybe that sort of meaning I got it right very clearly from this the dwelling in solitude. The I don't know, I am unable to express fully my thoughts and words, but it's all for our good, uh, individually and the collective, the well-being. If we are going to annoy and irritate some other people, make sure you stay alone, and your mental thought also should be alone. If something collectively is the well-being of other people, you go and share those things with others and do the activities with others. That sort of things. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, sisters. Thank you very much. Yes, Kalyani.
There, Uncle. So just practically, like when we get together for any kind of group sadhana, inevitably, like after the activity, people do talk, right? So, I mean, how much do you enforce, like, you can't just not talk to people, or is it okay? Are you supposed to have some small talk with people?
I think you have given the answer also, I think. I don't think we can enforce, but I think it's for each of us to limit such interactions if at all possible. Swami will say, hi, bye. That's good enough. That's Swami's standard instruction. But if there's a specific thing which we have, I think unnecessarily chit-chatting may not be suitable. But if there's something needs to be discussed, I think people can discuss. Maybe plan for the next satsang or something like that. But in general, Swami says after bhajan, everyone should go, or everyone should just meditate. This is something, especially after bhajan. But if your seva activity is slightly different, I think. Depends on the activity also, I would say. Yeah, that's my understanding. I will ask others. Swami has spoken about Auntie, Mani Auntie, others.
Yeah, ultimately what you said last week, satsangatve nissangatva, nissangatve nirmohatva, nirmohatva nishchitatam. That is what we have to, when we are doing satsang, we are with the Lord. Then that brings you that satsang, nissangatvam, automatically it goes to say that you are ekant. You are dwelling in God. So no contact with others. That helps us.
Yes, Auntie Saku.
Sai Ram, I am not asking any question regarding Ekanta Vasam. I am asking about Samachit Tattvam, first paragraph, equanimity under all circumstances. So here, the sentence before that, as you wear shoes to tread over thorny places or hold an umbrella to escape getting wet in rain, or sleep inside a mosquito curtain to escape the stings of insects, so too, arm yourself with an unshaken mind that is confident of the Lord's grace and bear with equanimity, praise, or blame. Can you explain that sentence, please?
Okay. I think maybe it was discussed. I think I missed some of the discussion, so I don't want to repeat what may have already been discussed. But anyone willing to share? I don't want to be the only one. So, Auntie, from what I understand, Samachittam will be something like a chapel or an umbrella. It will guard you against any unnecessary external stimuli which will agitate you. So that's what I understand. So the thing is, we should neither be elated nor we feel down by the happenings around us.
Okay.
So we should not get excited either positively or negatively, is my understanding.
Okay.
Samachittam will guard us against it. Once we cultivate, we will.
Just to accept is God's grace.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sai Ram, Aunty.
Sai Ram.
Yes, Sister Aruna.
Brother, you know, sometimes we have to understand what is not to talk after bhajan, right? If the other person is struggling to do something after the bhajan session to clean up and all, and that, you know, you are not supposed to talk about other things, but send activities or clean up things and do the next following day things and all. Those are not considered as a talk. It's something to related to the scent activities. Those kind of things, they have to look at it in different perspective. When you are talking about personally or go out tonight and all kind of things, that is not supposed to. So we shouldn't judge, but everyone has to know what Swami has said, right? That is, everyone has to keep in mind. Thank you, Sai.
Thank you, Sister Sai Ram. Yes, Brother Tasan.
Yes, Saram, brother. So if we take our study circle, a lot of people are participating. The reason is study in circle. So I will give whatever I understood, and everyone giving what is in their mind. So we are respecting each ideas and everybody's corner. This is a good example for us to analyze whatever we are going through this book. Finally, Brother Arno, some final thing he will give us. So, same way in center activities, we have to do it in our heart. We should not bring anything ego within us. If we don't have any ego, others will also will accept that one, only not to involve in the gossip. So they don't want to bring any worldly matters, worldly something jealousiness. You know, other than that, we all in the same path. Uh, Definitely, the group of people will motivate us to elevate in our God. Thank you, brother Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Yes, brother, you.
Oh, Sarah, when I came to New Tegada, I don't have nobody to talk. So after bhajan, I went to home by myself by bus. It's full of energy. I felt that nowadays I don't have that kind of things because I talking to people after the bhajan. And those days, I go in the bus, so I took the Tamil newspaper and read the whole thing about the back home, what was happening. And this Swami says, you are just equally do the same thing. You are talking to people. You were putting the unwanted message, news in your mind. You are ruining everything. From since that, I have to stop reading the paper until after returning back from the bhajan. I go home without doing anything. Keep quiet and looking around and sit on the bus. Yeah.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Yes, Sister Kalyani.
Sorry, Uncle. So when, for example, like Swami would sometimes, make small talk with the students and that kind of thing, like, I'm just wondering, is there some balance to be struck? Because sometimes you may go to the center for years. If you don't talk to anyone, you might not know, who they are, what their talents are, or that kind of thing, or even especially for Balvi class children. If we leave right after the class, you might not get a chance to connect with them in other ways. So I was just thinking, like, is there some sort of balance that we have to strike and when it comes to not talking after the event?
Thank you very much. I think it's a very nice question. Should we be, antiphobic? We are, we don't want to associate with people. It should be like that. Is the question, I think. Or should after bhajan, what should be our attitude in terms of, you know, when I came to Canada, I used to, after bhajan, I used to go quickly. And I also try to tell anyone. So one day, one gentleman, he told me, brother, I understand you are trying to do what Swami has told. But here there's a problem because most people are alienated in this country. When they go home, they don't have anyone to talk to. Whereas in a country like India, you have surrounded with community and your family, extended family. Here, sometimes there are people who are suffering from loneliness. So you have to watch out that also can become a seva. So these were some points which he said. So what you're saying is, I think we all know whether we are talking something positive or is it deteriorating into something negative and worldly. And as long as we know that, and we at that point, I think we have to make a call. How do we wind up this discussion and move on? I think that's what we can do. But I think we should be vigilant. What we are talking, what's the topic? Is it whatever we are discussing? Is it going to enhance mutual spiritual development or anything like that? And I don't think Swami will say, "Don't keep castor oil face." Swami says, don't keep such a passive face that people don't want to look at you and smile. So he says we should be pleasant to people around. But at the same time, we should not fall down into gossip and some negative thoughts or talk about where do we go shopping, things like that. Or where did we buy this? I would like to go and this kind of discussion should be avoided, is my understanding. But I think it's a balance. Ultimately, it's an art more than it's my personally. I will stop here. Others can also share their thoughts. Sorry. Yes, Sister Maha.
Sairam brother, I am thinking like the meditation. I think we are doing meditation right now also. We are not talking, we are focusing on Swami. This is also a kind of meditation, isn't it?
Is there any thought of Swami is, I think, in meditation? I think that's what we studied in Geetha Vahini, I think. But anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please?
So, Sairam brother, if I want to put it in a nutshell, in the meditation, there won't be words and thoughts. Here, we are thinking sentences and we are putting to the mind. So during the real meditation, there won't be any making sentences. Thank you, brother.
Sairam.
Yeah.
In here, I just reading one of the sentence from Swami. But if we merely do meditation and still our mind, is this enough? The reflection of the moon will not be seen, even the still water, if the waters of the lake are filled with dirt and pollution. Therefore, two qualities are required to see reflection of the moon. One, the surface of the water must be still, and the lake must be free of dirt and pollution. Saya.
Thank you. Thank
you. In the last sentence where Swami is saying, even if you remain near some great sadhakas, you have to have no association with worldly objects. Does that mean even if you shouldn't get attached to the other sadhakas? In the Telugu, Swami said that.
Okay. Let me just. Which one is? Is it Okka Bhagavantuni Tappa?
Peddalaina Sadhakula.
Yeah, ఒకవేళ పెద్దలైన సాధకుల దగ్గర చేరినను నిర్దిష్ట సంబంధమును కలిగి ఉంటుంట. But Swami says even when you are closer to great people, your mind should not be thinking of any sensory objects or worldly things. See, it's like, when we go to Swami, you are sitting for darshan. We should not be thinking, where did we leave my chapel? What should we go for dinner? Maybe we at that restaurant we'll try. Or, I have to go shopping for this. Then we don't benefit from being there, from the darshan. I think something like that Swami says, because that's nirvishaya, means without any other thought, ananya chintana to some extent. I think that's what Swami is referring to. Because that's also, Even when you are in the company of a great person, Swami is sort of equating that also to solitude, ekantavasam, because that person actually will help you go to ekantavasam, even though that person's company is there.
Okay.
Satsangatve nisangatva. But the thing is, but there, if we tend to keep on holding the nirvesha, there's no point in being near a person who can give you that experience of ekantavasam. I think that's what I understood. I will ask Auntie, is there anything?
Nothing to add. It's exactly what. Even if we go to a sadhaka, a great person, our mind should be clear, and whatever the sadhaka is saying, whatever the great person is saying, let us absorb. Let us absorb into our minds and put away all the unnecessary things from the mind. Swami is saying, all its occupants must be forced or persuaded to quit. First thing that should be done. Second thing is listen to the word. Great persons. Saira.
Sakku Auntie will say, neck them out. Okay, so we can continue on if it's okay. We have done Vasam on this topic for a while.
Yeah, நிறைய வாசம் பண்ணிட்டோம். இப்போ 18th virtue.
The 18th virtue, which helps to promote jnana, is said to be absence of interest in the company of men. That is to say, absence of the desire to mix with people engrossed in affairs that concern the objective world. One can attain equanimity even in the midst of wild animals, but it is difficult to win it while among worldly-minded men. Sadhana will be affected by the company one keeps. Good men keep you good. Bad men drag you away into badness. Of course, it is hard to find out who are good and who are bad, and then settle among the good. So it is advisable to avoid people and concentrate on sadhana. The human mind is like iron. If it falls in mud, it rusts and disintegrates. If it falls into fire, it loses dross and becomes pure. Therefore, if man joins the company of jnanis, it is better than being in solitude. Note how Narada, who was the son of a housemaid, became a rishi because he fell in the company of good men. Ratnakara, who was a cruel hunter, got the company of the 7 rishis, and so he was transformed into the first among poets, the Adi Kavi. Evil company is highly detrimental. A red-hot iron ball is capable of causing more damage than a flame of fire. A sinful man is more to be avoided than sin itself. Sadhakas have to be vigilant about the company they keep.
Yeah, we'll pause here and maybe we'll read the Telugu, Auntie.
Sairam.
So
that is the 24th chapter in Telugu.
yes, yes, Auntie.
This is the continuation he is here.
Yeah.
Anyway, ఇక 18వ జ్ఞాన గుణము జనసంగమున ప్రీతి లేకుండట.
Then the 18th quality of a jnani or jnana quality is not having desire to have human company.
అనగా విషయాసక్తి కలవారితో పొత్తు చేరకుండట.
Which means not to associate with people who are worldly minded.
క్రూరమైన మృగముల మధ్యమనుండనైనను క్షేమమైన స్థితిని పొందవచ్చును.
Even among wild animals, one can easily attain a beneficial state.
క్షేమమైన స్థితిని.
That's why I used it beneficial, Auntie.
Yeah, beneficial. పొందవచ్చును కానీ సామాన్యమైన పామరుల మధ్య సంచరించుచు.
But to mix with people who are ordinary people who are well, yeah,
Yeah.
ordinary people.
సాధనను కొనసాగించ సాధ్యము కాదు.
It is not possible to continue conduct your sadhana.
అట్టి సాధన సంగమున పట్టి సంబంధం ఏర్పరచును.
That kind of sadhana will be influenced by the company you keep.
మంచి వారితో చేరిన మంచి సంబంధము.
If you are with good people, then it's a good association.
చెడ్డ వారితో చేరిన చెడ్డ అలవాట్లు సంభవించును.
If you join bad people, then bad things will take place.
మొదలే మంచి చెడ్డ నిర్ణయించుట కష్టం కనుక
it's not possible to come to the decision or come to understand whether something is good or bad in the first place.
కనుక సామాన్య మానవులకు దూరముగా ఉండి సాధన సాగించుట ఎంతో ఉత్తమము.
Therefore, it is much more superior to keep away from the company of ordinary people.
సామాన్య మానవులకు దూరముగా ఉండి.
Yeah, so you should stay far away. Stay far away from ordinary people.
Such people సాధన సాగించుట ఎంతో ఉత్తమం. That's very better.
And then performing your sadhana is much more superior.
మానవుని మనము ఇనుముతో పోల్పబడినది.
Mind of the man is like iron, comparable to iron.
మానవుడను ఇనుము మట్టితో చేర్చిన తుప్పపట్టి.
So the mind of a man, which is like iron, when it mixes with soil or mud, it rusts.
తుప్పపట్టి, it gets rusted and తుండ్లు అవుతుంది. It becomes pieces. Yeah. అగ్నితో చేరిన నిర్మలం అవుతుంది.
If it joins fire, it becomes blemishless.
అందువలనే జ్ఞానుల సంగమును చేరిన సత్పురుషుల సంగము చేరిన.
Therefore, if you join the company of jnanis or if you join the company of good people,
ఏకాంతమున కంటే ఎక్కుడు ఫలమును పొందవెలుండును.
It's possible for you to attain something greater than even ekantavasa.
దాసీపుత్రుడైన నారదుడు కూడాను.
The Narada, who was the child of a servant maid,
సత్సంగముచే దేవఋషి అయ్యాడు.
he joined the company of good people. He became a rishi.
కిరాతక వృత్తిలో సంచరించుచున్న రత్నాకరుడు.
The Ratnakara, who was among the hunters and robbers, I would say,
సప్త ఋషుల సాంగత్యముచే ఆది కవి అయిన వాల్మీకిగా మారినాడు.
because he got into the company of the seven rishis, he became the first poet with the name Valmiki.
దుస్సంగత్వము అతి ప్రమాదము.
The company of the bad is very dangerous.
అగ్ని ముట్టినను అంత కాల్చదు.
The fire will not burn you as much.
అగ్నిలో కాలిన ఇనుము దారుణము.
The iron which is heated by fire will be much more harmful.
అటులనే పాపము కంటే పాపాత్ముని సంగము మరింత పాపము కాగలదు.
Greater than the sin itself is the company, or worse than the sin itself is the company of sinners.
కాన సాధకుడు ఈ విషయమున అతి జాగ్రత్తగా మెలగవలసిన యుండును.
Therefore, sadhakas have to be extremely careful and conduct themselves with vigilance.
Yeah, that stops here.
Yes.
Was Swami saying if you join the company of jnanis or the company of good people, it is possible to attain something greater than ekantavasam?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Meaning, like, rather than being alone, if you're with good people, you will attain more.
Yes, yeah, that's good.
When people think, oh, I'm doing my sadhana, I will progress. It's a joke. I don't want to associate with anything, any association. I want to be by myself, and we will attain something good. And Swami is saying, no. If you associate with jnanis or good people, the benefit is far superior to doing something alone. And he gives the example of Narada and Valmiki as the example.
But Swami also says it is hard to find out who are good and who are bad and then settle among the good. So, for us, it will be very hard to find out who are good and who are bad. And we may be thinking each one when they interact. So, the friendship with others, we always believe they are good. That's why we have our friendship with them or maybe communication with them. Uh, so the so for our state of spirituality, Swami says that so it is advisable to avoid people and concentrate on spiritual discipline. That means that you maintain your solitude or erhandavasam. So then I also thought maybe later that is little bit of contradicting. Sister Kalyani already asked that one. Maybe after the one sentence, then Swami again says, therefore joining the company of wise people is better than being in solitude. That's correct if we know how to differentiate the good people and the bad people. Maybe for me, it would be difficult to find out, maybe according to my the stage in the spirituality, or maybe the how I would differentiate good people and the bad people. That is really our call, individual call, according to our spiritual stage. And this would be practically very, very difficult, Didi. That's all I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Ananthi. Yes, Sister Dharmada.
Sai Ramana, it's just I also have a question very similar to maybe Ananthi auntie asked. Swami, in this passage, we mentioned like good people, bad people versus ordinary people, spiritual people. So to my question is in like a bit more practical with our day-to-day lives and, going to work and, dealing with our relatives, family, and so on and so forth. What is the difference between ordinary people versus good people? And how do we associate and how do we manage this? So it's a bit more practical because I'm trying to understand the difference between ordinary people versus good people and the spiritual. Like, how do we know? I mean, we are not at that stage, like Auntie said, to like even kind of understand where we don't even know ourselves yet. So how do we know how is the other person is? Kind of. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister. I think hopefully someone others share their thoughts on this question.
Sai Ram, can I say?
Yes, Auntie, go ahead.
Ordinary people will drag you to the world and worldly objects and ordinary topics or something which they will drag you there. Whereas a wise person will give you good advice and he will talk about spirituality, he will talk about God and godliness, what is good. He will talk something which improves your knowledge. I feel instead of going to the ordinary people who will be talking about the mundane things, rather than that, go to a wise person who can give us some kind of spiritual knowledge. Sai Ram.
So, okay. Thank you, Auntie. I think I just want to discuss the word Pamara. Pamara word in regular language, common parlance, people treat it as someone who is ordinary. But if you look at the proper meaning based on its etymology, either wicked or stupid. Wicked or stupid is two meanings. That means the person doesn't know what is good, what is bad, no discrimination, and they have low, vile, wretched, villainous, idiot. These are meanings for the word pamara in Sanskrit. So I thought I would just put it out there. So which is, I hope that answers some bit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Stupidity. They drag us along with stupidity.
So then the question is, what is stupidity? Also, people may ask. Actually, there are other discourses where Swami says, anyone whose focus is towards success in the world is a pamara. Anyone who wants to make more money, attain, some success from worldly wise, Swami puts them in the pamara category. Worldly minded people, all.
Worldly minded.
Okay, stop. I will stop there. And yes, Brother Yoga.
That's what those days in Sri Lanka they told advise the people early morning 3:30 you wake up and do meditation. So the Himalayas, whole Indian wikis are meditating that time. So we are small beginners. We can hook up ourselves to easy to meditate very quick. So that we can find a good company that time. That's when I thought, thank you, Sarah.
That's right. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Sairam, brother, because this is we are studying about how the virtues of the to be you see on Jnanis, right? So we were studying one by one. I don't know, is that the order is followed? We discussed about that before too. But when we come to a point, we can see it's going in a order that is relatively going with a spiritual ladder, kind of is increasing on the virtue side of it. So Ananya Bhakti, then Gantavasa. Now we have come to have a good company with the people. So that one, I think in Ilgantavasa, sometimes we don't know what we are doing right or not. The God grace, we come to know the people. I think that's the only way, because you cannot go and just discriminate, this person is not right, this person good, kind of. Only with at that point of time, with the God grace, we will come to see a person who can guide us more towards the Jnana stage, kind of. That's what I'm thinking. That's only what comes. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, sister. Yes, Auntie Sakku.
Sairam, these virtues are being given to jignasus who are going to be jnanis, right? To become a jnani, jignasus, they have to have these 20 virtues. So, people who are in this state, they know what their goal is going to be. What is their goal? So they will be, when they are moving with people, they can figure out these people's thoughts, words, and deeds are not aligning with my own goal. So like that, we can discriminate and choose our company. That is for the jignasus. Now, if you take school children, mostly they are along with materialistic lifestyle children coming from that type of a home background. So children who are going from Baba's Balavikas program and all, they face a kind of a challenge, because when I was teaching in Balavikas for the graduating class, most of the children had these challenges. They were confiding in me how to choose your friends. The most of them are like that. How can I alienate myself It's in a class. How can I be alienating myself because my ways and my thoughts and my ideas are different? I'm having conflict with them. So there the problem starts. For them, it's a problem, but not for us. For us, we have come all the way. We have come to the very end of Bhagavad Geetha Vahini. Baba is giving the Krishna's 20 virtues for the Jignasus. So we know what our life goal is. But those children who are presently studying in schools, in the secondary school classes, they are having a lot of problem and issues. That is the one that Narmada was addressing, Anandi was addressing. I think that's what I understood. So if you can help them, it's great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sakwanti.
You're welcome.
Anyone else would like to share any thoughts based on some of the questions and comments shared? Anyone has something to offer?
Brother, in this virtue, there's a 20 virtues. Out of that, we are 18 one. In that, absence of interest in the company of men. Absence
Yes.
of interest. But then, if you shouldn't seek for anybody. That's why I'm thinking that only God ways you will come across somebody to help you if there's a need. Thank you, Sarah.
Sairam.
Sai Ram, can I
Yes.
say something about?
Yes, please.
We can set ourselves as an example of being good. Then our children will learn from us. Like I don't drink or eat meat, and I have to go to business world. I have to attend business gathering. Sometimes my kids were with me. They saw that I don't drink, I don't eat things, I don't touch certain things. They watch me. And now they are following. One is in medical school, one is in computer science in Waterloo. They also don't touch, they also don't do those things. So first, when we establish the value from the childhood, that will help them. And secondly, I wasn't that lucky like all of you that come to Swami's fold when my kids were growing up. But Malvikas is there for kids, where they learn values and scriptures, and what we are following at home, they will follow you. That's what my understanding is, Saira.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you very much. When Sister Shilpa was talking, I was reminded of Prahlada and Dhruva also. Prahlada, we don't know what exposure even he had, even at home. Sometimes children bring their previous vasanas also with them. In the case of Prahlada, his son turned out to be an atheist. Okay, but his grandson became a great devotee. So, these things also happen in this world. So we don't know, but I think as Sister Shilpa said, as parents or as even just people in the community, we can also set some example with our own behavior, and the people may benefit if they're meant to benefit, I think. Because everyone faces challenges. Children maybe more so because of a lack of confidence. Children will be a bit more vulnerable. But even that can be helped by parents and others who are exposed to them. If they lead a better life, that can have at least placed before them some choices which they can choose from. That's all we can do. And otherwise, as Sister Aruna said, God's grace, Swami's grace. Pray.
Can I add something?
Yes, sister, please go ahead.
And also from childhood, bring that bonding between siblings. If they can't talk to us, they can talk to their brother or sister. Like my kids are open to me, but still something comes up, they talk to each other first, and then they come up with that and start and try to give them role models, like senior student or some, like my daughter is in medicine, so she look up to some doctors of the community, how they are um, dealing in the social life, or how they are. I take them to their houses, like how they are every day, like how what they are following, how is their lifestyle, so from them also they can learn. Saira.
Thank you very much, sister. It's like a big brother, big sister, mentorship, things like. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, brother. Oh, sister. Somebody started speaking.
It's okay. Uncle Dawson can go first.
That's okay. Kalyan, you can go ahead first.
Oh, I was just going to ask if you could briefly tell. I didn't know that Narada was a child of a servant maid, and how that all came to be.
Anyone would volunteer? The story of Narada.
I think a brief story I know.
Please, Auntie.
Narada's mother was working in different houses, doing menial jobs like washing vessels and then looking after the guests whoever came. They're called chautris. The chautris, many people come. And then, she used to take care of everyone's this thing. And Narada was her son. And, he was constantly exposed to all these activities of those who come and then stay there in that place. And then the mother was not at all worried about it, because she would go on doing her job. And it happened that he became a rishi because good men also were there. Good men also used to come. And then especially Narada. Good people used to come to that place. And he was very much influenced by them. And then he became Narada, the great person. That's what I feel. I know the story. Is it okay, Arun?
Yes, Auntie. Yes, you're. So, yeah, at one point, some rishis came and stayed in the same chowtry.
Yeah.
And because of that, he became, he also served along with them, others. The mother will do, sometimes he also served. So he served some of those saints who had come and staying there. From them, when they were sharing, some stories of the Lord, he happened to listen as a small child.
Yeah.
And he was so taken up by those stories, and he was inspired to become like them. And that took him on a journey. He went to different gurus and tried to learn with many people. And that interest was inspired in him because of that. So that's what Swami says. Even though in the chowtry, as Auntie says, there can be all kinds of people coming.
Yeah.
But because of his own samskara, he was attracted towards, he was exposed to that also, and he easily got gravitated to that.
Yeah.
Company.
If I'm correct, I think he partook the remnants of the food. The food prepared by rishis.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
By eating them, their prasadam of great rishis, of great knowledge, he could become Narada. Saira.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I wanted to say. And
Yes,
also he was in a courtyard. He was playing some musical instrument. He was very good in his previous birth.
Yes.
And he was cursed by the rishi for becoming wavering and trying to play and show off his talent to the women around him. So he was cursed to go down to the earth. And his mother was hardworking, and it was raining, so they couldn't go anywhere. They were cooking, cleaning, doing everything for the rishis who came to meet up there and discuss matters. And then Narada, as a small boy, he was listening while he was working, and also ate, as like Auntie said, the prasad. Whatever the remaining that the rishis left, the mother and the son ate. That also added to their jnana, with blossoming of their jnana. And he became like, he lost his mother because snake bit the mother and the mother died. He went to the riverside and he was sitting under a tree and he was thinking of everything that he had experienced, and then God came and granted him his blossoming of his jnana. And that's how Narada became very, very devoted devotee to Lord Narayana. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Yes, Brother Thasan?
Yes, Sairam, brother. The 18th one is the jnana. So in order to obtain the jnana, friendship also very important. For an example, if we take the Mahabharata, Lord Krishna, a friend of Arjuna, because he was going through the karma yoga, he's trying to fail on that one and trying to going through a lot of issues. That time, Krishna taught Bhagavad Gita. So other way around, if you look at Karna, his friendship was not good with Duryodhana, and everyone knows what's the end of the story. So even if we are living in the society, we have to respect everyone. We have to move with them. We have to live with them. But we have to be like a lotus flower, lotus. So even though it grow in the muddy water, it give you the good smell and everything, and it doesn't attach to anything. So same thing, we have to be like a bee, even if there are lots of people around us, like a bee, not like a frog, because even the frog sit on the top of the leaf, it doesn't understand the lotus thing. So once we have that Atmic Vidya, it will give us the differentiate what is good and bad. That's what we are learning, all this kind of knowledge. Thank you, brother.
Brother Dasan, if I can interfere in what you said, it is not, it helps to promote Gnana. That doesn't mean that it is Gnana which he is talking about. It is Vishaya Sakti Kalavarito Pottu Cherakunda. You cannot mix with people who have this Vishaya Sakti, is to have engrossed in this mundane worlds, objects.
Definitely, Auntie, because we are not supposed to, even though if you are mixed with them, we are not getting anything from them. We are not, if we don't get anything, we are not addicted to their brainwash and everything, we are not going to be affected.
Now, what I wanted to say was, it is the 18th Gnana Guna. That is the 18th Gnana Guna is not to mix with people who are interested in objective work. And in Telugu, Swami is clearly saying that.
Definitely. We are not supposed to mix with them because eventually we might trap into them too. Thank you.
That's correct. Saira.
Thank you very much. Anyone else would like to share anything? If not, we'll go to the next. Yes, Kalyani.
Quickly, but when Swami's saying how the company of sinners is worse than sin itself, I'm just trying to understand that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so. Even the Swami said everything at the end, he's telling that. That is why he says, keep away from everyone. So the thing is, if you are, see, what Swami says is, if a snake bites, it's only one shot, but sinners will again and again bite. Okay. They will not die. The poison is continuously flowing, is what Swami says. So that means they can influence you at all points in time in many sense. So associating with such people, it's always a problem. That's why Swami says it's very difficult to know whether someone is good or bad. So you try to keep away as much as possible from company of people who are worldly minded. See, in the translation, it does not come out clearly, but in the Telugu, Swami clearly says, Vishayasakti Varalatu. That means people who have attached to worldly objects. From such people, keep away. That's the first. That's the way the translation. But in the translation, it says interest in the company of men, which is
yes.
not necessarily. Swami says Vishayasakti Kalavarito. That means
Kalavarito pottu cherakunda.
yes.
Totally you avoid. That is.
So you should avoid people who are worldly minded.
Okay.
Vishayasakti, who are attached to worldly objects, worldly attachments, worldly success, worldly, or anything. We should keep away from them completely. So which is the most important? Then I think the challenge for us is then what do we do? Do we talk to people at all? I think that's the question which everyone asks. So the thing is, so the solution means not here, Swami doesn't say. Swami would say, always engage in sadhana activities. When you mix with people, the activity should be sadhana. Other than sadhana, if you start actively interacting with people, there's a chance that you'll be influenced. So when you are doing sadhana jointly, then you don't run into the problem, because even if such people have bad qualities, that may not come to the forefront and interfere. So to the extent possible, interaction with other people should be sadhana based if we are striving towards attaining jnana. Okay, that's the if if that is the goal for us set, and I think this is important that we engage in only sattvic activities with others. Otherwise, you minimize or pottu cherakunda, as Auntie would say, completely avoid them. Completely avoid them.
And touching a cooker, hot pressure cooker, it leaves by chance, if you touch that pressure cooker, it gives a big bad mark. Rather than touching the fire, you take it out. But this one, even a small touch gives a bad this thing for us. That I have experienced. That's why I'm saying that fire and touching a hot object.
I think everyone can test it out in the kitchen.
Yeah, we have done it. All the ladies must have done it. I'm sure all the ladies would have gone through.
Okay.
Whoever cooks in the pressure cooker, not all people.
Thank you, Auntie. Yes, Uncle Gopalan or Auntie
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. I was just thinking there is something else
Yes.
besides good and worldly people. Nowadays we have the media, and media dictates many things, and sometimes we go and want to watch a good program, and in between all these unwanted commercials come in. Okay, just a thought. It's very hard nowadays to avoid the media. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, I think this is the same point Brother Yoga Kumaran also mentioned. He said he was reading newspaper and then he realized he's just taking it and putting it into his mind. So he stopped reading newspaper while going from home after bhajan. So it's something similar. Any form of news media sometimes just clutters our mind. Yes, thank you. Anyone else?
Sai Ram, brother.
Yes.
I was, yes, Auntie explained very well that what is red hot iron ball, something she has given a good example. Likewise, what you see on the sinful man is more avoided than sin itself. What is that? I didn't understand that part. What is that? What is sinful man? Yes, of course, both has to be avoided.
That's it. Sister,
Yes.
Auntie Mani was explaining. See, a sin is like fire. Sinful man is like a
Fireball, yes.
iron ball,
Fire.
which is hot.
Mhm.
So that will cause more harm than fire itself.
Both has to be aware. Okay, that's fine. Okay, good. Thanks.
The sinful man is an iron ball, which is filled with fire.
Yes, it's supposed to be avoided. That's what at the end, right? It's to be avoided. Thank you, Sarah.
Like what I understand is like if maybe it's just you yourself that are committing the sin, like when you go after worldly things and you don't, you get disappointed. If you're just sitting by yourself, you might come to that conclusion that these things are not giving me happiness. But I think sometimes if you go on social media or if you're around other people who are worldly minded, like just their input and seeing what they're, going after, I feel like that, like if you're constantly exposed to that, then you might never come to that conclusion. Maybe in that way, that's why a sinner is better than, or worse than just committing the sin.
Both are to be avoided, as you said. Both are to be avoided. But the more dangerous one is the sinner who has already has full of all those things. To keep company with him constantly, he will influence us. So, but sin, of course, it is also to be avoided, but it will be in its place. Sairam.
Sairam,
Yes, sister.
since we are talking about the good company and all of how it affects your thinking, I'm going to share something which my science sister from our center, she shared with me how we were talking about the company matters. And she said that, her son was seeing a girl, and she said, Shivani, his language changed to, she's a single mom, and changed to the level where he was coming on and saying, Mom, when you're old or when you need me, I don't think so. You can live with us. I'll take care of you. But you know what? I think you have to be on your own, but I will be there. I mean, the language was more, he can't take care of his mom when he's good. And somehow, things happened that relationship didn't work out. And when that relationship broke, his son came home and did Pada Namaskar of Bhagawan, saying, thank you so much for relieving me from that relationship. And now he is in another girl, with another girl, and that girl lives with her grandparents, parents, and he's in the US. And she just went and came back, and that's where she was relating this incident. She said, Shivani, this time when I went, he said, Mom, I will take care. I mean, that girl won't have any issue because she lives with her grandparents. She lives with her, so she understands the value of extended family. And both of us, we were just discussing, look at the company, how it matters, and it changes our language intentionally or unintentionally. Just to share a story, incident.
Thank you, sister. Are we okay? Yes. So then we can continue. The next paragraph you can read, Kalyani.
The 19th virtue is the awareness of the distinction between Atma and Anatma. Fix your consciousness always on the Atmic reality and discard the body and the senses as unreal and impermanent. Atma is the eternal. So establish yourself only in that and not in the transient, non-Atmic illusions or objects. Life is a struggle to achieve victory over the illusion which haunts. I am the eternal Atma in you and in all. So fix the mind on me and engage yourself in the struggle, confident of victory.
Thank you. Auntie, shall we read the Telugu?
Telugu, yeah, correct. Atma Natma Viveka Gnanamu Pantombidava Gunamu.
The discriminatory jnana of between the Atma and the Anatma.
Yeah. Diniyandu Nirantarasakti kaligi Yundavalenu.
There should be permanent detachment or lack of interest from these.
Arun, this line, this sentence, దీని యందు నిరంతర ఆసక్తి కలిగి ఉండవలెను. అనాసక్తి இல்லையா இங்க? Why దీని యందు నిరంతర
Okay, I thought anasakti. Sorry, thank you.
I don't know why. Is it by...
So Swami says this we have to be always engaged. Always engaged in this.
Atma Anatma Viveka, you should be concerned. Yeah,
Yes.
there it goes. Yes. You have to be engaged in this Atma Anatma Viveka Gnana. Yeah.
Yes.
Nene nityudanu kanuka nannu nirantaramu smarinchuchu.
So knowing that I am the permanent one, always continuously remembering me.
Chittamu nayandu lagnamu chesina edala.
Focusing your chittam, mind on me.
Dehendriyamulu emi chesinanu.
Whatever the indriyas of the physical body do,
avi atmabhimukamai undunu.
Even those will be directed towards the Atma.
Manava jeevitame oka poratamu.
The life of human beings is a battle.
Struggle. Kana chittamu napai petti yuddhamu cheyamu.
So keep your mind on me and do your battle.
Ani bodhinchinadu.
And thus Krishna taught.
Arjuna. Ika ఆకురుడైన తత్వజ్ఞాన దర్శనమును.
Auntie Adi, that's next one, I think.
Oh, next.
That's the last one.
Fix the mind and that's it. Oh, it is in the same paragraph, so I said read it.
Yeah, it's okay.
When I say Nene Nityudanu, is it referring to Krishna saying I am the permanent one?
Yeah. Nene Nityudanu, I am the permanent.
The Krishna, the Paramatman is saying that. Yeah. So when Krishna makes the statements that Nene, he is not identifying with the body Krishna. Yeah. He is referring to the Atman.
I am the eternal.
Whatever the indriyas of the physical body do, even those will be directed towards the Atma.
Yeah.
So if we are in that state of mind, if we keep that Atma and Atma distinction at all times, then whatever we do, because we are focused only on the Atman, whatever we do, even the physical, the senses are engaged in, that will also be directed towards the Atman. That's what Swami says.
That's similar to how we, offering everything or eating just for the sake of keeping the body healthy so that the Atman.
Yes. Yes, sister.
Brother, so see, life is a struggle, right? So,
battle.
Yes. So engage in the struggle. Confident of victory. So only you have to accept that it's a struggle first. Right? So that's a pain is there always. But so engage, but we cannot keep away from that because we have to live. But only way we can live, we wanted to keep ourselves in a peace of mind, then think of me. That's how I see. So it's a struggle anyways. We have to accept that.
So Swami has used the word, two words Swami has used. One is poratam.
Yes.
Then he has used the word yuddham.
Obviously.
Yuddham. So the life is the battle which he wants, preparing us. Just the way he prepared Arjuna. So he's preparing us also for this battle. Because life itself, Swami says, is a battle.
the victory over the illusions or object, that means the victory you can only win by seeing the Lord everywhere. Right? That's the victory, right? Because it says struggle. Life is a struggle to achieve victory over the illusion.
So in the Telugu, Swami is not talking about victory
Not
yet.
Okay, not okay.
Swami is just saying, Kana chittamu napai petti. Let's keep your mind on me. Yuddamu cheyumu. Fight. Go fight. That's all he said.
The fight to realize him. That's it. Then only that's the art. You have to remember God in you and.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Here, what Swami is saying is the illusion. In English, it is saying the illusion is you should not be interested in transient and non-atmic. That is the illusion which we have. Transient and non-atmic illusions are objects. We have that illusion. So try to get victory over that illusion, which haunts us. Then Swami says, I am the eternal Atma. There should be a little confusion is there in that construction of the sentence. Which haunts, I am the eternal Atma. That's not, should be taken at that one as. Is it okay, Arun?
Yeah, Swami, see, this is all extra writing. So Swami is basically saying in the Telugu section that whatever the Dehendriyas, your senses do will be directed towards me when you're totally focused on me. Then he says, keep your focus on me, your mind focus on me and fight. Because life is a struggle or it's a battle. That's all Swami says. He's not even talking about any victory yet.
Victory, yes.
Okay, so at least in the Telugu
book.
Swami's
scripture is not there.
Because the reason is, just an extension. See, once you know that you are the Atman, there's nothing to lose, nothing to win. Because whatever you are struggling is only with the Anatma. The Anatma should not pull you down. Once you know that Atma is permanent, actually the next 20th is basically that's what he's telling, but victory, because there's nothing to win, nothing to lose.
So victory means you realize the Atma, right? That's what I thought.
It is victory, Nana.
So the victory, to realize that over the Maya, the illusion, that is the struggle, right? We are not able to see our Atma because of the world illusion, right? So the victory is realizing ourselves as an Atma. That's how I'm looking at it. Thank you, Sarah.
Sairam, just want to share, when I was reading this Life is a Struggle, I said, what is this struggle? Where? So my understanding is 3 levels of struggle. First is to comprehend about Atma and Atma. That do we understand that, this is the life we have to live. And accepting it and then living that life. So I think it's that 3 levels we are struggling. I don't know if there's something different than what I'm thinking, but love to hear other thoughts as well. And so I was just thinking, oh my God, it's not just the struggle of living a life. First of all, understanding, then believing in that, have full faith in that, and then living that. So, yeah. Because with me is like, I understand, and then one day I understand, I live, and next day I forget. And then I relive that life, and then I forget. So it's a struggle, which is so true. I mean, of course, Swami's Vakyas are true, but it's just every day you remind yourself who you are, and then you forget. So it's a big struggle But now listening that confident the victory will be there one day. We'll all understand and live that life.
So I think the question is, we are all talking about victory, though Swami has not mentioned, I've discussed. So who is winning and who is winning? Let's take the question of Pandavas. Did the Pandavas win the battle? Who won at the end is the question. Well, at the end of the Mahabharata war, only 10 people were left. So where was the victory? What was, who won?
The victory of dharma, righteousness. Not the victory of individual is. I think the Gita is dharmic and righteousness, right?
It's the victory of the dharma.
Yeah.
Dharma is re-establishment of dharma in the world.
Right.
That is the only thing. So we realizing Atman, Swami will say, well, there's nothing to win. You are Atman. But coming to realize that, once you realize that, only you can make sure there is victory of dharma in the world. Okay, which is what many people miss. They thought Pandavas fought for some land and they wanted to rule Hastinapura. No, that is the modern way of our understanding. But no, Krishna was very, very clear. People are born, they die, no problem. But dharma should be re-established. Dharma will be victorious. Not he, if I or you or anyone, So I think all our struggle in the world is for the battle of the dharma, to protect dharma. But that is possible only when we think of the Lord at all times and realize what is Atman, that we are not the body. That is the only thing permanent. So the fight is continuous. There is no victory. The battle will continue forever.
So victory is over your mind and your body. That's how, I know I'm just twisting words here. I can try. Yes. Brother, you have said something. We are in Sai Center, SSC program. We are reading his story. And we are on the chapter 16 where Swami's house, when Subhama gave, the property for Swami's to build a separate room, and it was set to fire, but there was rain. And that's where Swami said, wherever there is a dharma and righteousness, nothing will happen. Just take my name and you will be protected. So thank you for reminding that. Thank you.
Dharmo rakshati rakshita.
Yes. You know everything.
Yes, Auntie Saku.
I have a question. Yes, Baba says that Krishna says, I am the eternal Atma in you and in all. So, but some of the, like Kauravas, they were not following the Dharma. So, the Pandavas had to fight. So, in our real life, if somebody is doing against Dharma, are we to just keep quiet, or are we to find out why that is happening, or what the reason for whatever they are doing?
Yes, Auntie Mani.
Nothing else.
Okay. So
we have to think for that.
Okay. Sakwant is asking, when somebody is doing something wrong, do we have to fight? That's the question she asked.
Yeah. I'll take some time to answer that question.
I just want to point out that the time is also
Its time is also over.
Oh, it's time passed. When passed?
4:35.
Oh, sorry. So I
the
think
last word. I think it's the fourth or the fifth virtue, which we have already discussed, that you have to live and you. I think it says mentioned in the fourth or fifth virtue. The answer to Auntie Saku's question. Hint.
Okay, maybe we will let everyone think about it and come back.
I'll think about it.
I have a nice story to say, but which Swami has said, but we'll till next week.
No problem. Thank
you. The story. We will wait for the story.
Yes. We'll start with the story next time.
Yes.
So we'll please close the session with Samastaloka. Sai Ram, everyone. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank
Sai
you.
Ram, everyone.
Sai
Thank
Ram.
you, Sai.
Thank you so
Sai Ram.
much.